impact just on the kids' attitudes towards the test.
Sure. Now, you mentioned, of course, state of Illinois switched back to the SAT or to the ACT. They went back to the ACT. Yeah, well, and that's confusing enough as it is, but, just thoughts on that, kind of back and forth that they've done the last 5 to 8 years. That's got to be a challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it's a little frustrating that we kind of are flip-flopping back to where we were, 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. But at the end of the day, if you're doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom on a day-to-day basis, you should be able to apply those skills regardless of what the test is. Now, the testing format may be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, we feel that, preparation on a day-to-day basis throughout the school year gives us the opportunity to do very well, regardless of what standardized test is at the end of that.
Yeah.
It comes down to ACT must have made a much better proposal to the state of Illinois than the SAT.
And then of course, when you talk about standardized testing, then you get into the whole getting that data back and analyzing it, and that it used to be one of those things where the weight made sense because it was paper copy and Scantron and all of that nonsense. But now with this electronic stuff, I know you and I don't know about you, but a lot of your peers are saying, hey, why can't we get this data back a lot sooner so we can evaluate it and start to make our improvements? Speak to that challenge a little bit, Mr. Clapp.
Yeah. So I think what we've always been in that kind of cycle of we take tests in the spring, we don't get the results before the end of the school year, so we don't have a lot of time to make adjustments to our curriculums or day-to-day preparations to start the fall, which is kind of the way it's been. I think with the new state superintendent, Tony Sanders, he is working towards getting back feedback to us more quickly. It likely won't happen this year, but I think in years to come, we'll get that data back more quickly. That way we can analyze it in the spring and, maybe even early summer. That way those adjustments can be made if necessary. But it does make sense now that we're all online that we should be able to have the data back very quickly. That way we can kind of take a look at it and kind of, glean out the information we need to make decisions and adjustments as necessary, and get kids the opportunity, hey, maybe it was not your best day. If they are wanting to better themselves, here's what they can do. Sign up to take another test, things like that. And kids have that opportunity now. But I think getting that data back more quickly will help us all.
Sure. So what happens with this data? Is it? I know the school report card is probably a big piece of it. Those sorts of things. What happens with this data once you get it back?
Yeah. So we've kind of focused on doing a better job of using now it's going to be the